Hello, and welcome aboard WhalePod to another Genshin Impact video. And this will be the last Sumeru commission that, well, not commission, bounty that I ever need to do, as we are 10 reputation points away from reputation level 10 in Sumeru. I will still do bounties and requests each week, but not necessarily always in Sumeru. Our target is a Flying Cryo Shroom, invulnerable to cryo damage, and takes increased damage from catalyst-wielding characters. Well, this fungal boy's funeral, because we are running the Bloom Doom team with both Nahida and Kokomi as a DPS catalysts, or Nahida is the reactor and Kokomi is sort of the semi-main DPS. We are running the Double Dendro, Double Hydro version, as I'm going to have Kale in here to get her friendship level up as well. Let's see, it is over here in the Apam Woods, or as I like to call it, the Apam Woods, because, well, I have an aunt named Pam, so it's her woods. Gonna still grab those Rukashava mushrooms when we see them, because they are used in, actually quite a lot of cooking recipes. We have now entered the bounty's target location. We'll swipe these Rukashava mushrooms here on our way down to face it. Here's our target. Let's land on a ledge and pre-tag them with Nahida. And a plunge. At least these shrooms don't like to do ranged attacks like their Dendro counterparts do. And that is the last bounty we will ever need for Sumeru's reputation points. Done and dusted, as they say over in Xenoblade Land. If you've been hearing a slight buzzing in the background, it's now gone. I just remembered to turn off the fan that I use to keep my room nice and cool in between recording sessions. But boy, does it get infernal while I'm recording. And now, you're here. Welcome. How have you been? All good? I've got some new commissions here. It'll be great if you'd be willing to help. I've done all the commissions I can for the week, so you're gonna have to find someone else to do even more. The Winged Cryo Shroom has been hunted. And that is also a silver trophy, as we are playing on PlayStation 5. Sumeru reputation level increased to level 10, which gives us the Wings of the Forest. Now, let's go ahead and put these Wings of the Forest on somebody while we go and talk a little updates concerning Gacha on the channel. Aside from the obvious, I'm going to be taking a break from the big whales with the Yai and the Yaimiko and Tartaglia rerun banners because, well, my funding is quickly depleting. It is unsustainable at this point to continue big whales for the time being. I gotta take some time off from the massive summon sessions in order to let my finances recover. We're gonna put Wings of the Forest on Nilou because she is meant to be used with Hydro and Dendro, although I do actually really like the Wings of Companionship look on Nilou. But regarding the future of Gacha on the channel, aside from that, 2 days ago I finally received the new PC I ordered from Apex Gaming. That has, well, enough power that if I wanted to switch Genshin Impact back to PC I could, but before I do that, I'll have to, one, get someone who's able to join my world and open the treasure chest on the heart-shaped island in Liyue, in order to get the last hidden trophy to earn me the Platinum trophy. I do want to Platinum Genshin Impact before I switch back to PC. And they'd have to give us a set of wings that look as good on the Traveler as these Wings of Dissension do. But in regards to other news, I am now able to play other Hoyoverse Gacha games that are not yet on console, such as I will be trying out soon, probably in the next couple weeks here, Honkai Impact 3rd, the older sister of Genshin Impact, and yes, older sister is the correct terminology here. The characters in Honkai are, I believe, known as Valkyries, and are for the most part predominantly female for the ones that are on field. There might be some supports that don't necessarily show up when you're playing, but are side characters in the story, or basically just equipable items to your main characters. That may or may not be male. I've heard of, like, there's at least, I believe at least one that sort of parallels Albedo visually and thematically in Honkai. As well as I will be looking forward to trying out other Hoyoverse games, such as Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero. Note, Honkai Impact 3rd, Star Rail, and ZZZ will all be, for the most part, free to play. I won't be strictly free to play, but I won't be whaling either. At most, these accounts will be light spenders. Also, I am still interested in trying Ether Gazer when it does come to its global launch. I know a lot of people are disappointed that it got postponed until 2023 at the earliest recently, but hey, that's a good thing. Remember the last time the gaming community pressured a developer to release a game before it was ready? Yeah, I do. It was called Cyberpunk 2077, and it took what could have been a cool game and made it into a train wreck. I hear it has sort of recovered, but I don't think I'm ever going to play Cyberpunk either on or off the channel. It just... Before launch, it looked kind of cool. Now that I know more about it after launch, I'll pass there. Yeah, so look forward to Honkai Impact 3rd starting up in... Probably the latest you'll see it starting up is the end of the month. Now, these Wings of Companionship do not look at all good on Nahida, so we're going to switch her over to the wings that were literally made for her. Kale is a Sumeru character in the party, but we are actually going to leave Kale on the wings of Azure Wind, as, well, she's besties with Amber, a Mondstatter. I want her to have the wings that symbolize she's an honorary Mondstatter. I'll also just use these wings on Animo boys, because the color scheme does tend to go good with them. But not Xiao, because Xiao is literally Zhongli's basically son. All the memes have him being literally the sun. Let's see, what wings are on Sino currently? He has the wings of Golden Flight. It doesn't clash too much. We're going to switch him over to Wings of the Forest now. Other Sumeru characters. Tignari is 120% getting Wings of the Forest. He can now Forest Watch with the Wings of the Forest. Okay, other Sumeru characters. I believe it says Candice and Dory so far that we haven't done anything with on their wings. And for Candice, I'm actually going to leave her on Wings of Companionship because they do actually look really good on her. And last but not least... Well, actually, yes, last and least. Dory is quickly becoming one of my least favorite characters. Her appearances in story and Archon quests aren't even that entertaining, and she's just a greedy Mora grubber. That actually blends pretty nicely with the light colors on her top. Absolutely looks atrocious, even though it would make sense to give Dory Morax's wings. I'm honestly leaning towards Stormstrider over Forest because, well, Forest, yeah, Forest just doesn't look good. It doesn't even look like it's attached to Dory anywhere. So yeah, we're going to give her Stormstrider. If you do want to give her Wings of the Forest, that's roughly what it will look like. And now, let's go ahead and read. Let's go back to a character that it does look better on. In fact, let's go back to the Archon. And read the lore that comes of Wings of the Forest. Because Sumeru was once a land of few dreams, the people there had a superstition that if you see images formed of the heart in your sleep, they must be the revelation and enlightenment from the Dendro Archon. They must have some kind of deeper meaning. It is possible that Akasha would never have come into being without this tradition. There was once a great Master Furnace, not the current great lecturer in the academia mind, who claimed to have many dreams and to be good at memorizing them. As such, he gained much more repute as a poet and a dreamer, as opposed to a researcher or an inventor. Sumeru lacked dreams, and if he truly dreamed much, then he must have been nothing less than a divine appointee, sitting at the Dendroarchon's feet every night. Those jealous of him would thus say that daydreams did not count as dreams. It is said that he had witnessed the wind gliders from lands far abroad and realized that their working principles did not follow physical laws at all. If it were not for the Anemo Archon's blessing upon each item, they would be as a millstone, even if granted to a mighty eagle, causing it to plummet out of the skies with enough force to smash tortoise shells below. Thus did this great Master Furnus, and once again I must emphasize that this is not our current Great Lecturer Furnus, resolve to create a wind glider that did not require the Anemo Archon's blessing. Yes, it would fly by dint of its own beauty and by the physical laws that governed all things. And so he got to work day and night, before one day falling asleep from exhaustion. It is said that he once again encountered the Dendroarchon in his sleep. The parent of living creatures listened to the great Master Furnus's instructions before laughing and telling him a story. The story was about the wind that had taken on a human form, a talking stone, and a wooden thing made of electro. The three of them discussed the makeup of the world, and each believed that they were one of the fundamental elements. The stone claimed to hold up all things, and to this they all agreed. The wooden object said that all mortal thought was the work of electricity. This was a bit of a stretch, they all reckoned, but it could not be said to be false either. When it was the wind's turn, he told a story. The tales of another world speak of children of the air who dwelt in the skies. These were all spirits of the wind. Some of them could slice through mountains and rocks. Others could summon tornadoes or move clouds and water with incomparable force. But the youngest of those children was disregarded by people for the weakness of his breath of life. Thus he did hide himself away. The wind-pollinated flowers were in agony, for there were none to pollinate them, and so did the boldest dandelion search for and find the breath of life. And to encourage him, the dandelion told a story. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there dwelt a powerful and beautiful queen, who seemed almost to shine like the sun. But her younger brother was a rambunctious, playful knight. Some omissions, to encourage her, the queen's lady-in-waiting told her a story. After that night, the great Master Furnus constructed a wind glider before asking the Anemo Archon to bless it. Though it produced the exact same result as any wind glider heretofore invented, the academia pronounced this similarity to be a coincidence. Legend has it that the first thing this great master said upon waking was, "All right, I know. The answer was right before me this whole time." But in truth these words were, "Okay, all right, I know. The answer was right before me this whole time. Please, I beg you, stop repeating yourself. I know the gods' blessings are also a part of this world's rules." This fable teaches us that the truths of this world are to be honored, but that it is best not to seek physics in fantastical dreams. So how about it then? Would you like to accept Master Furnus's wind glider? And that whale pod is where we're going to leave this Genshin Impact video. If you did like it, make sure to like, comment, and sub to the channel if you have not done so already. All three of those help me out considerably and cost you only a few moments of your time. I know it is not necessary, but it certainly helps, and I do appreciate it very much. And with that said and done, I hope you all are having fantastic days, Whale Pod. But until next time, this is Captain Whale, signing off.